Today we're taking a look at these MLB matches, which are happening on Sunday, April 9, 2023, and giving you our team and total picks for today. Welcome back to High Stakes. Before we dive into our video, don't forget to subscribe and to push the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. Also check out our Patreon if you want access to our premium picks. Our Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money, and if you are interested in props and parlay picks, check out our new channel High Stakes Props and Parlays, where you can find our player props and parlay picks predictions. You will find the link to our Patreon and to our new channel in the description and comments section below. Cincinnati Reds vs Philadelphia Phillies. Philadelphia has struggled putting games in the win column as they have had a rough time keeping the opposition from putting runs on the board, sometimes in mass quantities. Walker didn't look great in his season debut as he was cuffed around by the Yankees on the road. Ashcraft was solid in his season debut, shutting down the Pirates in one of the better starts in his career. The problem with the Reds is that they are good offensively when they play at home, as the bandbox dimensions of the Great American Ballpark is good for hitters. This game is on the road, and we saw the Reds struggle to put runs on the board Friday. Give the Phillies the advantage as their lineup carries them to a victory. Our team pick is Philadelphia Phillies minus 1.5 runs. Philadelphia struggled out of the gate this season, but managed to earn a victory in their home opener Friday afternoon. The Phillies improved to 2-5 on the season and entered Saturday fourth in the NL East, 3.5 games behind the Braves for the top spot in the division. Against the Reds Friday, Trey Turner, 2 runs, Nick Castellanos, run, and JT Realmuto, run, 2 RBI, each had 2 hits to lead a 10-hit attack. Realmuto, his first, and Edmundo Sosa, his first, each homered in the victory. Zach Wheeler didn't factor in the decision as he threw 5.1 innings, allowing 2 runs on 5 hits with 3 walks and 5 strikeouts. Gregory Soto, 1-1, threw a scoreless 7th inning to earn the win in relief, while Craig Kimbrell worked around allowing a hit and a walk in the 9th inning to record his first save. Taijuan Walker is on the hill for the Phillies as he logs his second start of the season, looking to help the Phillies secure a win on getaway day. He enters the game 0-1 with an 8.31 ERA, a 1.615 whip, 3 walks and 5 strikeouts over 4.1 innings this season. Walker took the loss in his season debut, which came Monday on the road against the Yankees, allowing 4 runs on 4 hits with 3 walks and 5 strikeouts in a game the Phillies lost 8-1. Walker makes his 4th career start against the Reds in this contest. He comes in 2-1 with a 5.29 ERA, a 1.235 whip, 7 walks and 18 strikeouts over 17 innings of work against them. Walker is 1-1 with a 5.25 ERA, a 1.25 whip, 6 walks and 19 strikeouts over 24 innings in 5 career starts at Citizens Bank Park. Our total pick is over. Boston Red Sox vs Detroit Tigers. I simply can't not get myself to back the Tigers solely based on their horrendous offense. They're one of just 2 teams in the league hitting under .200 as they're currently at .199, KC, .187. They'll have an opportunity to get off the schneid today against Cutter Crawford, which I'll dive into below, but I still don't think they have enough to win. I'm locking in the Red Sox here. Detroit's offense is on a completely different trajectory when compared to Boston's. That was apparent when the Tigers only managed 6 hits in yesterday's 14-5 shellacking. Not to mention, 3 of those runs were in garbage time in the bottom of the 9th, with 1 of them being unearned. Akil Baddoo went 2-5 in the loss, while Riley Green was 1-4 with a pair of RBI. As for the pitching, it was clearly a disaster as the Tigers surrendered 14 runs. Joey Wentz started the game and took the loss, lasting just 1.2 innings, while giving up 5 earned runs on just 1 hit and 4 walks. Boston's currently one of the best defenses in baseball, sitting at 2nd in runs scored, 55, and 5th in ops, .826. They'll have a decent challenge in Matthew Boyd Sunday, however, the southpaw hasn't really turned into what was projected when he was coming up through the system. In my opinion, he's more of a depth starter on a middle-of-the-road team. Furthermore, the Red Sox have been great against lefties this year, sitting at 3rd in average, .291, and 4th in ops, .885. Look for Boston to win on Sunday in what'll likely be a high-scoring affair. Our team pick is Boston Red Sox money line. Oakland Athletics vs Tampa Bay Rays. I'll bet on the Oakland run line, plus 1.5 runs, at minus 105 odds. After hosting Oakland, Tampa Bay will welcome AL East rival Boston at Tropicana Field. Boston may not have much pitching, but what it does have is an offense. With a crucial 4-game series on the horizon, it would be understandable if the Rays look distracted against the lowly Athletics. I expect a lower scoring game with Kaprielian and Rasmussen on the mound for their respective clubs. Cap is a better pitcher than he showed in his season debut and will find some success attacking Tampa Bay's lineup on Sunday afternoon. Rasmussen will be solid again after a great season opening start. Bet on the A's to keep the game close. Our team pick is Oakland plus 1.5 runs. The A's lineup leaves a lot to be desired. Off-season addition Jesus Aguilar could surprise with a bounce-back season, but that's likely asking too much of the 32-year-old. Ramon Laureano is a potential trade candidate down the line, but he's also coming off a poor 2022 season. Aledmys Diaz and Jace Peterson are two veteran players who could exceed expectations. Sunday's starter Kaprielian allowed 5 runs on 7 hits and 2 walks over 5 innings in his first start of the season. He was 5-9 with a 4.23 ERA and 1.34 WHIP in 26 starts last season. The former first-round pick of the New York Yankees, who had off-season shoulder surgery, figures to be a key cog in Oakland's starting rotation this year. Our total pick is over the total. Chicago White Sox vs Pittsburgh Pirates. It's difficult to bet against a team that's at home and on a winning streak, as the Pirates are as of Saturday morning. Especially not when the offense is putting up 7.0 runs per game during the winning streak and facing the worst pitching team in baseball right now. Both starting pitchers should have better outings, but Oviedo has the luxury of a better bullpen behind him and the early favorite for NL Player of the Month, Brian Reynolds. The Pittsburgh faithful should get ready to raise the Jolly Roger after this game. In the opener of this series on Friday, the two combined to play 22 runs. The White Sox had 7 of their first 8 games of the season go over, all of them totaling 9 or more runs. Pittsburgh has had 3 of their games total 9 or more runs, including Oviedo's last start, in which the game totaled 13 runs. Both starters are prone to the long ball, and when they struggle it usually early in the game. It is forecast to be a clear, sunny day in the mid-50s, so there'll be no weather variables slowing bats down. The over is 4-0 in the White Sox last 4 against National League teams and 7-0 in their last 7 against a right-handed starter. Take the over 8.5 runs. Pittsburgh Pirates vs Baltimore Orioles. Cortez came out of the gate solid with a 5-inning stint to pick up a win over the Phillies. Cortez faces a much less potent lineup in Baltimore in this spot and was dominant against the O's last season in throwing 18.1 innings without allowing a run. Wells pitched very well out of the pen against Texas in his only appearance this season and now makes his first start of the season. He was 0-2 against the Yankees in 4 starts last year and faces a Yankees lineup that has averaged 5 runs per game in each of their wins this season. Take the Yankees with the money line. In his last of 3 starts against the Yankees last season, Wells allowed 5 runs in 5 innings and Baltimore fell 7-6. The over is 4-1 in the last 5 meetings in Baltimore and 6-4 in their last 10 meetings overall. While Baltimore has struggled in the past against Cortez, this new, youthful lineup is much different than what he faced last season and has enough spark to break the ice against him this time around. I do expect New York's offense to handle the bulk of the lifting in this game, as their big bats should start popping off at any moment now. Baltimore had already had 5 games due over this season. Take the over 8 runs. Miami Marlins vs New York Mets. The New York Mets come into this contest with a run differential of -5, which is 20th in the baseball. This inverted run differential has been credited to the poor batting average, although they've managed to accrue 14 runs over the past 2 games. And while the hitting has been a bit erratic on the season, the Mets are 7th in plate appearances and are top 3 in both walk and strikeout rate. The staunch plate discipline thus far has been a true testament that waiting for the right pitch can pay dividends. The drawback for the Mets' offense has been their inability to consistently bring runners home, and when they aren't getting free bases or home runs, they're often not able to capitalize with runners in scoring position. So it does bring some concern that the Mets are sitting 29th in hits per game as they face a pitcher in Garrett who held them to .216 batting last season, but did allow 3 homers over 9 innings, proving the Mets' method at the plate can continue here. While Carrasco had a rough go of it his first time on the mound this season, he should be poised for a bounce-back performance and will get some help from the offense as they have seen the ball very well of late. The Marlins, meanwhile, have not been hitting the ball well, and Garrett was peppered the last time he faced the Mets, falling victim to the home run. Take the Mets for the sweep here. Our team pick is New York Mets money line. While both squads sit in the bottom 5 in the league in terms of hits per games, both teams have paths to runs, with each pitcher having been rattled already this season, allowing 7 runs between them. The Mets' plate disincline should allow for them to have extended at-bats and earning hard-fought bases. The Marlins have been more than happy to swing at whatever crosses the plate, but if they're challenged with a lackadaisical pitch, they've shown they can send it out of the yard. Take the over, which is 8-1 in the last 11 between these two. Our total pick is over 8 runs. Seattle Mariners vs Cleveland Guardians. The Seattle Mariners will turn to Kirby to bounce back against another pitcher that struggled out of the gate, Zach Plesac. I'm backing Kirby in this game with his ability to get swings and misses, compared with Plesac's propensity for getting out through contact. The Mariners' bats appear to be coming around after a solid performance on Friday night. The Mariners' bats have produced 19 runs in winning 2 out of 3 games heading into Saturday's game. Look for the Mariners to exploit the soft-throwing Plesac on Sunday. Take the Mariners. The Cleveland Guardians were one of the surprise teams in baseball last year, winning the AL Central and earning manager Terry Francona his 3rd Manager of the Year award in his career. The Guardians added some pop to the lineup in the offseason by bringing in first baseman Josh Bell and catcher Mike Zunino. The pair have combined for just 1 home run and 4 RBI to start the season. On Saturday night, the Guardians scattered 9 hits and left 12 men on base in a 3-2 loss to the Mariners. Cleveland is now 5-4 on the season. Our total pick is over.